And it's that time again. Welcome to CramTime, welcome to another video. Today we'll be defining what exactly a function is. We start now. So we're going to make this quick and simple to understand. So a function, well, we're going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and show you. So a function, well, how I like to think of it, is something where I put in an input, and this input I like to think of like an element that goes into a machine, and that machine gives me an output. So an example of that, like say my input was iron. If I put in iron, I would get a sword, okay? And then if I put in bronze, I'd get a shield, just say for example. But if I put in iron and I get a shield, that is no longer a function. The input should only produce one specific output. It should not produce more than one output, okay? So that kept in mind, we're gonna look over here. And here we have 0, and that's our iron, and it produces 1, that's our sword. And now we have 0 again, which is our iron, and now it's producing a different number, and that is simply not correct. So I'm going to hop in here and make a quick edit. And now what we have, if I put in a -1 there, we have a -1, which is our input element. We get a unique, we get the number 1 as an output. And there's no other -1, so that one element in is only producing the one kind of element. And now if I plugged in 0 and I still made a sword, that would be, still got number 1, my bad. That would be perfectly okay as long as the material is different, as long as I'm not producing a -1, putting in a -1 and getting 1 and then 3 another time and then 5 another time. So that gets into the vocabulary concepts of domain versus range. Domain is the spread of the x's. So, and that for this case is from -1 to 2, and range is the spread of the y's, so that's from 1 to 13. And if I have, so one for my domain and range, there should only be one number from the domain should only result in one number from the range. It should not be able to create more than one numbers in the range. So essentially, you can have a whole bunch of the same y's, but you can't have a whole bunch of the same x's with different y values. And just to illustrate that, and we'll be on our way really, is on this graph, if I had, if I went back to this little thing with the 0, 1, and 0, 3, so I have 0, 1, 0, 3, 1, 7, and then 2, 13. This was a horribly drawn graph, but you understand the concept of it. So with the function, of course, I'd want to connect the dots through these coordinates. And this is something called the vertical line test. So if you can draw a vertical line and it only hits 1 point, you're fine. So you're fine. But boom, you go through here and you hit 2 points. It fails the vertical line test. What does that mean? That you had 2 y values for the same x value. So that's just another way of checking that concept. So in summary, a function is a relationship where you input something. So say the function was, oh my bad, one notation. So x is the input, x is what you input. So it's the function of x is equal to, say, we say it's equal to 2x. And that's our function. So this is the function and this is the input. And I guess if you plugged in, say your input was 0 at one time, your output would have been 0. So that's the input and all that kind of thing. So that's what a function is essentially, is you're plugging something in to an equation and you're getting an output, but those outputs conform to the rules of a function that I discussed in this video. If you're currently cramming for a test, click on the correlating playlist in the description. If this video and channel were of value to you, hit that subscribe button and like the video. I'd love to hear your video requests and feedback in the comment section below. Thanks for your support and stay safe.